Hello, everybody. My name is Damien WITTE. I'm the Swift corporate expert for the Benelux region. Today, I'm joined by Jessica ESTEVES, financial crime and compliance expert. It's really a true pleasure to be here today. I'm really happy to be invited to speak at the ATEL Full Conference. Sorry. Of course, it would have been even better if we could have had this event physically instead of through this digital channel. So today I've been asked to do a quick recap of what Swift is, what we stand for, and what are the solutions we bring to corporates before we can speak about two other solutions that bring a lot of value to the corporates, the Kyc Registry and Swift GPI for corporate. So the Kyc Registry is not a new solution. It has been around since 2014. Swift has been very successful in standardizing and streamlining the KYC sharing process amongst financial institutions with this solution. Approximately 6,000 financial institutions are already using this tool for their own KYC requirements. Strong from this experience, we are now opening this solution to corporates. Finally, Swift is transforming the cross-border payment world with Swift GPI for corporates. I'm sure most of you often see international payment as a black box. Swift GPI is opening this box, giving you the full transparency and efficiency on international payment you, I'm sure, have long been waiting for. So first, let's start with a quick word about Swift. Swift is a cooperative created in 1973 by a small group of banks in order to solve a common industry issue, namely the bank-to-bank communication. So since then, Swift has greatly evolved. We now count more than 12,000 customers connected worldwide. Among those 12,000, approximately 2,000 are corporates. We are active in more than 200 countries. And since the creation, we have kept the same core values. We bring together the community to innovate and to bring solutions to common industry issues. So on top of the messaging and the connection to the Swift network, we have also created numerous shared services. So I'm sure you know the traditional value Swift brings to corporates is the connectivity to the Swift network. This means one single point of access toward all your banks all around the world, one single bank agnostic gateway, one infrastructure to maintain, only one security standard, and so on. Connecting to Swift creates an easy way to gain visibility and control over your cash position and to automate your payment and cash reconciliation process. Like we do for bank, we are also tackling some of the other common industry challenges for corporate. On top of the pure messaging and bank connectivity, we also offer multiple solutions to corporates. We have already started discussing about it, but we'll be discussing even more in a few minutes. Swift is opening the black box that is international payment with Swift GPI and Swift GPI for corporates. With those solutions, we aim to improve the transparency, the efficiency of slow international payments. As we are faced with an increase in financial crime and consequently an increase of compliance requirements, Swift is also providing some financial crime and compliance tools. We know another challenge corporates are faced with is that it can be challenging to maintain a clean database of payment reference, especially when you deal with a great number of correspondents. This is why we offer a reference payment database containing the latest update and information you need to create clean payments under the name of SwiftRef. On the other hand, MyStandards is the place where banks publish their format requirements for domestic payments all around the world. So this caters for an easier bank onboarding process. Finally, I leave the floor to my colleague Jessica, who will speak about the KYC registry. This is the platform where corporates can standardize and streamline their data sharing process. Jessica, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Damien. Hello, everyone. My name is Jessica ESTEVES. My email address is on the screen in case you need to reach out to me. And of course, if English is not your preferred language, and if you have questions after this presentation, feel free to contact me in French, German, Portuguese, Spanish, whatever works best for you. Today, I am giving you a brief overview of how and why the KYC registry will make your life easier. So if you are a part of the Treasury professionals who think that the KYC process is, the KYC process that banking partners put them through is extremely time-consuming and, I quote, painful, you are not alone. On top of that, 81% of treasurers tell us that they are concerned about data privacy when they share sensitive information with their counterparties. As requested by the industry, and more precisely the correspondent banking community, SWIFT has created in 2014 the KYC registry, which allowed banks to upload all their KYC documentation and information to one and the same platform globally with standardized data for all. It made exchanging information between entities much easier, faster, and it decreased the burden of this process. In fact, it was so successful that the industry asked SWIFT to expand the scope of the platform to additional players. So from this year onwards, we have been onboarding corporates to the KYC registry as well for you to use. On the screen are some names of banks and corporates who have been working closely with SWIFT to make sure we designed the corporate part appropriately to match your needs and to take into consideration the information and documentation that your banking counterparties will request from you. How will the KYC registry make your life easier? Well, just like we did for banking institutions, we are now rolling out this KYC process to all the corporates on the globe to make sure there is a standard in data exchange between corporates and the banks they work with, and at the same time to standardize the process worldwide to make it fast, efficient, and above all, cost efficient for all. We have one repository that, according to our clients, will allow you to cover 80% of the KYC requirements. It is very user-friendly and intuitive. You can program the system to send a notification email to the right person within your firm whenever there is a specific information request. You'll have quality data. Since our team helps you to upload all the information and documentation in the correct way. And after this, SWIFT also verifies everything before publishing it. One of the biggest advantages for the KYC registry is that you stay in full control of your data. SWIFT does not take ownership of your data, and your data is only shared with the institutions you give access to. So that means it is not out there for everyone to see. A lot of our clients also love the fact that they save a lot of time thanks to the KYC registry, as they only need to upload all the information onto the platform once, and then they only need to maintain the data up to date and give access to whoever they want to access it. So this is especially valuable for the ones of you who work with multiple banks, because you can give access to all of them in one click instead of having to send the same documentation to everyone separately over and over again. The tool also has an integrated messaging system. So imagine it is like having something like an email system within the solution in case you need to communicate with the right people at the counterparty. And of course, the platform complies with all data privacy and data protection regulations. And remember, this is a tool created in collaboration with industry, meaning created for you, by you. What data is on the KYC registry? Well, the data is distributed in 4 categories you see on the screen, which comprise basic information about your firm, ownership and management structures, client base, and the type of business you are in. And of course, there's also a category for tax. So who can join? Well, we started onboarding the corporates that have a big code because they are already connected to SWIFT, and bit by bit, we will expand to the rest of the institutions, just like we did with financial institutions. For corporates, it is completely free of charge to add their data to the platform. We only charge the entities who ask to see other institutions' information, which in this case would be the banks. To join, you just need your SWIFT administrator to subscribe to the KYC registry on swift.com. It is done in a few minutes. Once you have subscribed, our teams will reach out to you and guide you through the process of uploading all the necessary information. So on this note, I leave you with this last slide and a quote from the Treasury Director of Spotify stating how the KYC registry helps them to reduce the KYC burden. And yes, it was a great pleasure to give you a summary of how the platform can help you. And please reach out if you have any further questions. I now leave the floor to Damien again, so he can tell you about our GPI initiative.
Okay, thank you. Thanks a lot, Jessica. It's really inspiring. I would like to go further with this presentation with Swift GPI for corporate. So when we discuss about international payments with Group Treasurer, we often hear the same challenges and recurring pain points when it comes to international payments. I believe some of the statements you see here from big corporate treasurer must particularly resonate with you. As you can read, it's all about speed, transparency, tracking, as well as keeping remittance information intact. So completely aware of those challenges, a group of banks gathered together with SWIFT to achieve a new common vision, creating a better and faster cross-border payment world under the name GPI. Practically, by subscribing to GPI, banks agree to follow a stricter common set of rules for international payment. Those rules follow and allow for a faster payments execution with the obligation of same-day use of funds. Traceability is achieved by adding a unique tracking reference to each payment. This is the UETR you may have heard about. Finally, there is also the obligation to provide full transparency on fees and unaltered reconciliation information. So what it means for corporate and building on GPI initiatives, SWIFT is creating 2 main services available for corporates, pay and trace and inbound tracking. Pay and trace lets you see the information on the payments you have initiated. This is the most commonly spread use of GPI. But on the other hand, and when you think about it, if the initiator is capable of tracking the payment to the beneficiary should also be able to use the unique tracking reference to benefit from the opposite view and gain visibility on incoming payments. This is what happens with inbound tracking. This inbound tracking, of course, creates a new range of benefits in terms of short-range forecasting and real-time confirmation of credit. Lastly, SWIFT is also developing a new set of corporate-to-bank APIs. This channel will provide a non-demand status for your outgoing and incoming payments. So, as of today, corporates are already benefiting from faster payments. In addition, many banks have also integrated GPI and are delivering its value to their corporate customers. What we see is that there are currently multiple levels of maturity coexisting in the way banks communicate the GPI tracking information to you. So first of all, the first level of maturity is when banks use GPI information to help their corporates investigate payments issued through the support centers. A second level of maturity is when banks expose their GPI information to their corporate customers via their own proprietary e-banking portals. Finally, the third level of maturity comes when banks directly share the tracking information with their customer through standard messaging. So this is the third level of maturity, and so this level of maturity is what we call Swift GPI for Corporate, or the acronym G4C. When providing this service, banks literally give their corporate customer the key to build their own GPI experience. Multi-banks corporates are then in charge of their own GPI flows, generate their own payment tracking reference, and can build reporting capabilities directly into their ERP systems or treasury management tools. So in order to create those reporting capabilities, Swift is partnering with some TMS. The capability of those cash management applications can start with the generation of a tracking reference. So this is the UOTR. It can be very powerful in combination with a searching tool, by example. Some TMS have incorporated additional capabilities based on the tracking information provided by GPI and generate useful graphs and dashboards. And finally, some other TMS have gone even further and are now providing insight on payment performance and fees. They give you benchmarks on countries, currencies, and so on. So really building on intelligence. So practically speaking, when you subscribe to GPI for corporates, you benefit from a common experience amongst all your banking partners. This means that the information that is provided to you by banks is consistently the same, under the same format. And this standardization is guaranteed by the GPI rulebook. On this slide, you can find an example of the information that could be shared with you once you have subscribed to the service. The tracking status, payment insight, and information is communicated to you in a near real-time fashion. Those tracking details are provided to you in a standard, consistent way through FIN or ISO messaging. This is the famous MT199. So a quick recap for the GPI and what I hope you will have remembered from this presentation about GPI is that with Swift GPI for corporates, you can benefit from a common experience across all your banking partners, initiate, track, and gain insight on your GPI payments directly from your own treasury system, while benefiting from faster payment, unaltered remittance information for easier reconciliation. All of this in a bank-agnostic gateway. Thanks a lot for your time. I truly hope this presentation was very useful to you. Do not hesitate to contact me would you want to hear more about Swift or the solution we are bringing forward to the community. We'll speak again soon in the Q&A. In the meantime, thanks a lot for your attention.